Hey guys, welcome back to the show, Texas Business Radio. We are going to continue to bring you interesting stories of people in business. There's a lot of ways to make money in the United States. God bless America. And yes. I love hearing about them because there's some things that people have a wonderful company. I don't even know that it's a thing. I find those absolutely fascinating. I'm your host, Matt Register. Jay Curry had to step out for a minute. He's going to join us here again in a minute. Guys, get your calls in. 844-814-8144 is our 24-hour call-in line. 24 hours. Call now, call later. We're going to get the experts in here to get those questions answered. We're going to jump right into it. Retevo, the sales equation. This is a retail merchandising company that does some really remarkable things. Avery Starks, CEO of Retevo. Avery, welcome to the show.
Hey, nice to be here. Tell
me about Retevo. What do you do and who do you do it to?
So I'll tell you, Retevo, we're a sales and merchandising company, of course, as before. But what we do is very simple, but it makes the greatest impact when it comes to big box retailers. So,
well, I'll tell you what. Let me take a cut at this. I have the quick in the break discussion with you. Let me see if I understand this. You have a product that you want to get out onto shelves in retail stores. You're the guy that we bring in because you know those guys. You know how to go fight for shelf space. You know how to go fight for displays and how to most effectively move our product within those stores. How close did I get?
You're spot on.
All right, wonderful. So tell me about your customers. Who do you do this to? Is this smaller mid-market guys? Is this very large, product manufacturers? Who is it that is your client?
Yeah, well, that's a great question because our clientele is from a small companies to startups all the way to global business, more established corporations. So it's a wide variety, and we have a great technology that allows us to do that really effectively and to customize our business.
Okay, tell me about that technology.
Okay, so the technology, in sense of what it does is that it allows us to actually identify the greatest opportunity. So in layman's term, let's go for the lowest hanging fruit, and how do we actually maximize that potential at retail? And I can give you a couple of examples if we have time for that as well.
So that sounds fascinating. So you know these guys, you know these retailers, you know how to go through their process to ensure that these guys. Now I'm assuming all shelf space is not created equal.
You got that right. It's like real estate.
I got it. So how do you go in there? I would imagine your competitors are in there fighting for it themselves. I would imagine that some guys that should be your clients are in there fighting for it themselves, right? Tell me a little bit about how do you ensure that you stand out above those guys and get your client what he needs shelf space-wise?
Sure. Now, from a tactical standpoint, we have over 18,000 field reps that are out there in the field representing each specific store in these retailers. The biggest difference is that they're specialized. They go in. We have the technology allows us to have a portal. So the portal on the device that we use will tell the rep exactly, number one, what's the greatest opportunity for that specific product in that specific store. So that's the thing that sets us apart from our competitors, because there's a lot of people out there that are trying to do sort of the same exact thing.
Right.
But if you send someone in the store and say, hey, there's a brand that I want you to represent, they go in and, they may have a lot of different time wasted and that it's really not effective. But the greatest thing that Retevo does is target it. We're precise. We make sure we get the biggest bang for your buck. If you had $2 to spend, where would you spend it and how would you spend it? And that's basically that's what the software does for us.
Well, and I tell you what, the retailers know this as well. So you're coming in and telling them specifically where this thing needs to be targeted. They're probably going to listen to it.
You got it.
That's absolutely fascinating. How do the product guys that attempt to do this by themselves, how do they mess it up? Because I would imagine that there is, your mileage may vary, right? But I would imagine that most of them they certainly don't maximize their ability to do that. I would take a wild guess, right?
You're right. So think about it at this stage. The only two times that inventory is right in the store is on grand opening day and the day that the sucker burns to the ground. So you think about it that way. There's human nature, our process, anything that we touch, people bring back returns, they get processed differently. And what does this actually mean? So from an inventory standpoint, if your inventory is off, which meaning I have more inventory in the system than I physically have on the shelf,
Right.
that prevents or delays more inventory and POs from coming into the store.
Okay.
So I don't want to get, too far down the weeds with this, but all of this adds up into lost sales. And the amount of money that from an operations point of view, that if you times how many stores you have, times how many products you have, I mean, we're talking millions of dollars. So you can see how this is a really, really big issue, but it's also a really good fix. And you can't fix it from, punching a button in your office. You actually have to have a representation, have to have boots on the ground in these locations to go out and execute. So that's what we do.
And I tell you what, the product guys, right? They're really good at making that product. They're really good at doing it. This is a very niche deal that they're not going to be good at, right? I'm in the investment banking business. Man's only going to sell his company one time. He is not going to be an expert at selling his company. He needs to bring in some expertise to do that.
You're right.
And you guys are the folks that can absolutely maximize the value of that product on the shelf. So you have somebody right now that has a brand new product.
Yes.
Getting ready to launch it. What is your recommendation? I mean, what do you tell them to do? What do you counsel them to do?
It depends on the specific retailer, if it's national, but automatically, number one, you have to have a launch plan. Within that launch plan, there are different components, different elements to make that launch plan work. So if you're launching something, you want to have a display. You want to have some marketing, you want to have some activation, some interruption in the store. So if they pass by it, it's not just a regular product that gets buried onto the shelf because nobody actually sees it. So we have we recommend a launch program, and that launch program is either shelf activation, either we have some POS material, which is point of sale material, some banners, even put a television monitor depending on the product that it is.
Sure.
So that allows, a retailer and also the manufacturer to drive trial. In order to drive trial, you have to get it into your customer's hand. So,
and I would imagine over time, you guys have dialed that in on what exactly does a product launch in either a convenience store or a grocery store or wherever you're going.
Got it.
Have dialed that in as what is the effective way to do this, and I find that absolutely fascinating. To tell you the truth. I see that stuff every single day, and we all do.
Yes.
I had no idea that was a thing. I probably should have, but I didn't, right? Until today. That's fascinating. Somebody wants to get in touch with you.
Yes.
What's the easiest way for somebody to do that?
You can get in touch with us on our website at retevosolutions.com. We also have a LinkedIn profile, Facebook. So you also call the number, 479 250-4080. So that's the easiest way to get in touch with us.
Got it. Retevo Solutions. We have Avery Starks, the CEO of Retevo Solutions here. Go to the website, guys, texasbusinessradio.com. We're going to have links to Avery's company. We're going to have links to everybody we're talking to today right there on texasbusinessradio.com. Avery, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
This has been a ball.
Yes, sir.
And, guys, we got to go pay some bills. We're going to go to a quick break. We're going to be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.